Hello and welcome to Full Send Broadcast Network here with the Southern Excitement Racing League Truck Series brought to you by Sim Racer Hub. Tonight I'm here in the booth by myself, and if you excuse me there on some of the moments through the broadcast tonight, I do have COVID right now, so I do sound a little stopped up and a little hoarse at some moments. But no harm, no foul. We are definitely here tonight to bring you some exciting racing here from Homestead Miami Speedway. Here from the Southern Excitement Racing League. Let's pull up our pre-race info here as we have about a couple minutes left here in practice. Right now it's 81 degrees Fahrenheit, 50% humidity, partly cloudy with 2-mile-an-hour winds. They're going to be doing 100 laps here around this 1.5 mile oval. The track surface temperature is 102 Fahrenheit, which is going to make for some slick racing conditions, especially once tires wear out. They're going to have the stage end at lap 45. They will not throw the caution for it, but they will award bonus points first through 10th, where first gets 10 bonus points and 10th place gets 1. 65% fuel load on these trucks tonight. That's going to get them between 30 to 35 laps on a full tank of fuel. One fast repair. And the question on everyone's minds tonight here in the truck series is who will make the top 12 for the playoffs. And that's your pre-race info here, brought to you by Sim Racer Hub. As we have about a minute left here, let's take a look at how the stats look for these drivers. Right now we got 12 drivers in the lobby. Nick Kulikowski is the only one to yet take a practice lap. Justin Michael in that 87 machine out there setting a blistering lap time that's almost 2/10 faster than Dustin Madsen with a 33.146. Now while we still have a little bit of time, let's take you through the rundown of how they look right now heading into the playoffs. As this is the last race in the regular season, Dustin Madsen leads the points right now with 408. But Justin Michael not far behind with 402. Now your top 8 are locked in right now before the race even starts. They're locked into the playoffs. George Jewell in 9th and William Fletcher in 10th will lock themselves into the playoffs just by taking the green flag. 11th, 12th, and 13th, they're all on the bubble. As we said earlier, they're only taking the top 12. Well, James McCanney in 11th has 251 points. John J. McIntyre in the 2 machine in 12th, the last spot, has 247. Now, it's going to have to take one of them two guys to have a bad day, and Kevin Franks has to win the race to get enough points because he's back there with 229. He's going to have to get enough points to be able to outpoint McCanney or McIntyre to make it into the top 12. It is doable, but it's definitely going to be a long race ahead for him. As qualifying is starting now. We have a few drivers there on the track. Take a look at Dakota Camper here, sitting on the end of pit road. Jonathan Cogswell already out there, getting it wound up and up to speed. Going to be a 10-minute long qualifying process. As we see Cogswell taking the green flag. George Jewell already on his green flag lap in that 07 machine. And once again, I apologize if I sound sickly out there tonight. Got a little bit of a case of the Rona going on. George Jewell comes across the line with a 33.596. Cogswell with a 5-4 as Madsen, Howell, and Camper come across the line in second, third, and fourth. Go right along with Dustin Madsen here. I'll tell you what, let's go right along with Nick Kulikowski, as he did not take a practice lap tonight. We'll see if he's able to turn around in this 26 machine and bust off a good lap time on qualifying. Christopher Howell goes to the top spot. Dustin Madsen quick with an answer right there. Dustin Madsen on top again with a 33.506 in response to Howell's 33.517. Right now, Kulikowski, the last truck on track. Comes across the line. Gonna better his lap time, but it's not gonna be good enough. See Jamie Dunning on pit road now. Getting ready to roll off. Looks like we got Kelly Poynor in the chat, everybody, over here. Unfortunately stuck at work, but tuning in to watch with us tonight. Jamie Dunning, the only truck on track right now. Not including him, we'll have 5 trucks left to qualify, possibly waiting it out. Maybe waiting for a little bit of cloud cover to shade this track. For those of you tuning in, we greatly appreciate it here at the Full Send Broadcast Network. Right now we have the Southern Excitement Racing League qualifying going on. We're watching Jamie Dunning come around, take his first lap here. See where that's going to put him. Goes up to P3 with a 33.52. John J. McIntyre's on the track also. Dunning should be coming across the line soon. He does, and he goes straight to the pole with a 33.501. That's going to put Dunning in the top spot right now by 5/1000ths of a second over Dustin Madsen. Don J. McIntyre's first lap is going to put him P7 with a 33.91. As of right now, he's the only truck on track. Still got Justin Michael, Kevin Franks, Joey Doucette, and James McCanney. To take their times. Excuse me. Sorry about that. John J. McIntyre goes up to 6th right there with a 33.865. Right now, there is no other trucks on track. We wait for more trucks to either go out or for the timer to run out here in qualifying. Right now, Jamie Dunning in that 54 machines is sitting in the top spot with that 33.501. Madsen is sitting second with a 33.506. Howell in the 18 machine sitting third with a 33.517. And George Jewell in fourth with a 33.596. And Dakota Camper rounding out the top 5 right now in that number 3 machine with a 33.835. As we have about 3 minutes left in qualifying. James McCanney on pit road here, coming out of pit road. Coming out to take his qualifying time. Takes the green flag right there. This is going to be the start of his first hot lap for that 15 machine. Looks like he chooses to run the high to middle lane right there through turns 3 and 4. Let's see where that puts him here on his first lap. P9 for the 34.378. Still have 3 trucks left to qualify here tonight. That's the 87 of Justin Michael, the 98 of Kevin Franks. And I apologize, I was saying Joey Doucette was racing earlier. He is not. As you see that 3-digit number right there, that signifies that he is race control. So we still have 2 trucks left to qualify as James McCanney comes around on his second lap. That's going to be a 33.992. That's going to put him P8 as we have about a minute, 10 seconds left here in qualifying. Jeff Merck in the chat says he has his money on Justin Michael to pull it off tonight. Get an overhead look here of Homestead Miami Speedway, this 1.5-mile oval. Have about 30 seconds left here in qualifying, roughly. Let's take you through the point standings one more time to refresh you of the bubble watch. Right now, Jewel and Fletcher's not here tonight, but if he was, he would have locked himself in by starting tonight's race. The top 8 are already locked in to the playoffs. James McCanney, John McIntyre, and Kevin Franks are battling it out for that last spot there in 12th to make it into the playoffs here tonight, as this is the last race of the regular season here in the Southern Excitement Racing League. Qualifying has wrapped up. Let's give you a rundown of the starting grid here tonight. They're starting to grid up right now. Let's take you through the official starting order here tonight, presented by Sim Racer Hub. On the pole, Jamie Dunning in that 54 machine, bringing it around with a 33.501. Dustin Madsen in the 6th, starting 2nd. 3rd, Christopher Howell. 4th, George Jewell. 5th, Dakota Camper. 6th, John J. McIntyre in the 2 machine. 7th, Jonathan Cogswell. 8th, James McCanney. 9th, Nick Kulikowski. 10th, Justin Michael. 11th, Kevin Franks. And it shows here, rounding out the field, in 12th is Joey Doucette, but that triple-digit number does indicate that he is race control. And that's your official starting lineup here tonight, presented by Sim Racer Hub. For all your sim racing statistical needs, go to www.simracerhub.com, and they'll get you fixed up with a miniature website for your league to put in your race results. They'll keep track of all the stats, points, and everything else that goes along with having to run a league. Go check them out, and they'll get you hooked up. As we're waiting for the field to completely grid here, Looks like they're starting to roll off pit road now. Half the field goes up to the track racing surface. The other half stays low on the access road. Makes it a lot easier when coming off pit road for grid there. Lights are out on the pace truck, signaling we're going green this time by. Once again, for those of you tuning in here tonight, we greatly appreciate it here at the Full Send Broadcast Network. Showing you the Southern Excitement Racing League regular season finale here from Homestead Miami Speedway. And if you excuse me, I do sound a little hoarse tonight and stopped up. I do have COVID. But we're going to power through it here tonight and bring y'all some great racing action as the pace truck pulls off. We are green here at Homestead Miami Speedway in the Southern Excitement Racing League, brought to you by Sim Racer Hub. These guys are already jockeying for position. Jamie Dunning going to the high side there. Fantastic shot right here of the trucks going by. Right now, Dustin Madsen kind of holding in line behind Dunning. Biding his time. Dakota Camper already up 2 positions, along with Nick Kulikowski and Jonathan Cogswell, already trying to make their way through the field. Bit of a side-by-side battle back here as Jonathan Cogswell is going to go ahead and slip in line. Going to go ahead and dive it back down low below the 18 of Howell. Howell, though, going to have the run on the high side. We have a battle for the lead. Madsen to the inside of Dunning. Madsen going to try to clear himself. He's going to do it. Your new leader is the 6 of Dustin Madsen. Right now, that last time by, Dustin Madsen ran the fastest lap of the race with a 33.72. Already trying to step it out. As these top 2 between Madsen and Dunning have really stretched it out a little bit. It looked like Dunning might have had an issue getting into the corner. He lost 2/10 right there to Madsen. We have a battle back here. Between the 15 of McCanny and the 98 of Franks. Don't look now, there's also the 87 of Justin Michael riding around in 11th back there, possibly trying to save some fuel. I know I talked to some of the drivers in the pre-race. A lot of them were saying that they were worried about this being a fuel mileage race and who do they think could stretch it out. And if it goes to show from previous aspects of this league, Dakota Camper there in that 3 machine, he has been the master so far of saving fuel and trying to stretch it as far as he can. Last week we seen that, where he was able to pull off a win. Right now, Jamie Dunning has gotten back to the back bumper of Dustin Matson there for the lead. Dunning just sticking with that high line, trying to save tires possibly. That's definitely going to use more fuel going around the longest part of the track. Driver's really looking calm so far out there tonight. As your top two have really stretched it out over the rest of the field. Right now, Dustin Matson and Jamie Dunning stretched it out to almost a 2.5 second lead over the rest of the field. But it's got to make you wonder if they're going to be using up a lot of fuel there. We come around to complete lap 10, start on lap 11 here tonight in the Southern Excitement Racing League Truck Series presented by Sim Racer Hub. Lots of give and take so far tonight that we've seen. Right now, Dakota Camper currently running in the third spot. About 3.3 seconds there behind the leader. We really do have the formation of two packs. The first pack right here being the 6 and the 54 there of Matson and Dunning. And then here in the second pack, led by Dakota Camper with Christopher Howell, Jonathan Cogswell, John J. McIntyre, and George Jewell. You see George Jewell trying to go to the inside of McIntyre right now for that 6th spot. And then last in this little group is the 26 of Nick Kulikowski. Justin Michael currently running 9th. And Kevin Franks in 10th and James McKinney in 11th. Right now, we're going to go to Full Sound, brought to you by Full Send here on the Full Send Broadcast Network. And we're back. Right now, Dustin Matson is still your leader, who has stretched it out a little bit over the 54 of Jamie Dunning, as we're getting close to green flag stops here in about 10 laps. Justin Michael, man on the move right now. He is currently up 7 positions right now in that 87 machine. Just past Dakota Camper for the 3rd spot. Running that low line where a lot of drivers are not able to run right now, and following him up 6 spots is that 98 of Kevin Franks, who's one of those drivers that's on the bubble right now. Dustin Madsen stretching it out to a 1.7 second lead over Dunning. Dunning's kind of running off by himself right now in between Madsen and the rest of the field here. You see Justin Michael still back here, running in the 3rd spot. He's going to dive it down low there in front of Kevin Franks. You say we ride along with the 18 of Christopher Howe. See it from his point of view. Kevin Franks moves up to the 4th spot. In the 87 and the 98, they are making some money moves right now. As you see, the field is really catching up to Jamie Dunning in the 54 right now. Kevin Franks not really staying in line, trying to go around and get the 3rd spot there from Justin Michael. He's going to clear the 87. Put that 98 machine up to 3rd now. They start running down your 2nd place car, the 54 of Jamie Dunning. Dustin Madsen currently 2.6 seconds ahead of Dunning in 1st place here. Really looking strong so far. We see the gap from Madsen to Dunning, and then Dunning to the rest of the field. Kevin Franks trying to stretch it out a little bit over Justin Michael. As we have the start of green flag stops, those 7 of George Jewell coming down. As the field has caught Dunning. Kevin Franks looking to get around the 54. Not going to clear him out of turn 4 there. But with the speed of that 98 machine, I see him clearing the 54 on corner entry right there as you see it live. George Jewell comes out of the pits. We are nearing the cycle of green flag stops now. These drivers can go 30 to 35 laps depending on how much they save and whether or not they have the draft. But George Jewell making it a 4-stop race. Here's 2 more drivers. The 2 and the 15 of John J. McIntyre and James McKinney coming on the pit road to get their truck serviced. We go back live and check on the leader, the number 6 of Dustin Matson. Matson gonna stay out this time by. No more takers this lap. As McIntyre and McKinney come out of pit road. Really seems like the 6 is kind of slowing down. Not going to bring it down this time by. If we have any others electing to come down this time by. Does not appear to be. Go right along with your leader, Dustin Matson. Still looking really smooth there out of turn 4. Ned Kulikowski bringing that 26 machine down for service. Dustin Matson really holding a steady wheel here. Really backing this corner up right here, holding that low line. He's coming to pit road right now. Your leader giving up the top spot to come down pit road. That's going to cycle Kevin Franks to the lead. He's going to get a bonus point for leading a lap there. Really going to make it interesting here. Kevin Franks, I would have figured, would have been going after stage points. He really needs them right now. As Dunning, Matson, and Cogswell are on pit road. Here comes Kevin Franks. We'll blow it down to pit road speed here. Christopher Howell comes with the 98 of Kevin Franks. That's going to cycle the 87 of Justin Michael to the lead. Justin Michael and the 87 and the 3 of Dakota Camper have yet to pit. Expecting to see Justin Michael come this time. Not going to happen. The way he entered that corner real low, looked like his Dakota Camper's going to come in to get that 3 machine service. That's going to leave Justin Michael as the lone wolf out there. Really pushing this truck to the extremes on fuel. Maybe playing the long game on fuel strategy here. Let's see. Let's ride along with Justin Michael. He is cutting the truck off, entering the corner on extreme fuel saving mode already. as he has now gone 35 laps, the most of anybody, even during practice. As you see here, he's going to back the corner way up and coast it off in there by clutching it. And about halfway through the corner, let back out and get back in the throttle just enough to keep a little bit of momentum going his way. You see he has a almost 30-second lead over Dustin Matson. Dustin Matson is that truck, that dark colored truck you see there out the windshield in front of the white one. The white one is the 07 of George Jewell. Those are the only two trucks currently on the lead lap. As Kevin Franks is going to come by and get his lap back. Here comes the 54 of Dunning. As Justin Michael's going to bring it down pit road this time by. After completing 36 laps on fuel, he is definitely trying to make this a two-stop race. Oh, he's going to loop it. By passing up his pit box, has to loop it around to get back in it. Devastating mistake by the 87 camp and Justin Michael. That's going to cost him so much more time. We'll have to see in the long run if that's going to work out for them. Dustin Matson cycled back out as your leader now as green flag stops have gone cycled through. He now has a 5.5 second lead over the 07 of George Jewell. As George Jewell's getting passed right now by the 26 there of Nick Kulikowski, who is 2 laps down, looks like from a pit road penalty. Give you a rundown of the field as they run right now after that first cycle of green flag stops. Your leader right now, Dustin Matson in that 6 machine. Really putting on a dominating performance so far tonight. Probably led every bit of 35 laps so far out of the 40. Jamie Dunning, who started on the pole, taking over the second spot there from George Jewell. Started on the pole, led the first, I'd say, couple, 2-3 laps, and is now back in the second spot after that green flag stop. Kevin Franks taking over the third spot there from George Jewell, really putting on a good performance here, trying to make the playoffs as we are nearing the end of the stage, really trying to get as many stage points as possible here for the 98 crew. George Jewell in that 07 sitting in 4th right now. The 3 of Dakota Camper running in the 5th spot. Look for him to be saving quite a bit of fuel, and look for him at the end of this thing. 27 of Jonathan Cogswell sitting in the 6th spot. Has a little bit of damage on that truck. Possibly got an outside wall. That's kind of typical here at a track like Homestead, where the high lane is the fast lane. 18 of Christopher Howell running in 7th right now. Haven't talked much about him all night, but he's normally been up there in the top 5 for most of the night so far. The 87 of Justin Michael, who stretched fuel out the furthest of anybody. He's currently on the lead lap, but a costly pit road's mistake cost him a load of time in that 87 machine. And 9th is the 2 of John J. McIntyre. 10th, James McCanny. And rounding out your field in 11th is the 26 of Nick Kulikowski, 2 laps down. And that's your official lineup right now as they run, brought to you by Sim Racer Hub. For all your league stat needs, go to simracerhub.com and they'll get you fixed up. All you got to do is put in your race finishes there from iRacing into their website, and it'll calculate the points for you based on how you want it done. And keep track of all the stats of every driver in your league. Go to www.simracerhub.com. Now, as we're rounding out the stage here, coming to take the white flag for the stage, Dustin Madsen is your leader right now. White flag is out for the stage. Madsen going to come through turns 3 and 4 to see the green and white checkered. Dustin Madsen is your stage winner here tonight, getting 10 points. Here comes the 98 of Kevin Franks. Very fast, takes home 9 points. Jamie Dunning with 8. Dakota Camper with 7. George Jewell with 6. Christopher Howe with 5. Jonathan Cogswell with 4. Justin Michael with 3. John J. McIntyre with 2. And rounding out in the 10th spot is James McCaney, picking up 1 bonus point. Dustin Madsen to a 7.3 second lead right now over Kevin Franks in the 98. This is definitely playing into a fuel strategy race. And for those of you tuning in, we greatly appreciate it here at the Full Send Broadcast Network. Showing tonight the Southern Excitement Racing League from Homestead, turning into a fuel mileage race here. Tomorrow night, the Southern Excitement Racing League Next Gen Series kicks off their playoffs from Bristol Motor Speedway. They're going to be doing 150 laps around the Last Great Coliseum there. And it'll be live right here on the Full Send Broadcast Network. We hope you get to tune in and watch that exciting race, which is the first race of their playoffs. Bound to have loads of drama and lots of action. And then on Tuesday, here on the Full Send Broadcast Network, we are going to have the Finish Line Racing League presented by Babs Body Shop from Richmond Raceway. They're getting ready to round out their regular season here. Definitely tightening up for the last few spots there as they take on the 8 into the playoffs. We'll dive more into that on Tuesday night. Right now, Dustin Madsen up to a 6.6 second lead over Kevin Franks. Losing time to Kevin Franks, actually. And I may be wrong, but let's go right along with Dustin Madsen. I believe he is clutching it going into the corner. He didn't clutch it going in that time around. But it definitely sounds like he is in fuel-saving mode. There you hear it, folks. He is saving fuel big time by clutching it going into the corner. Right now, Kevin Franks running Madsen down as George Jewell is back on pit road. Possibly already having to come down for fuel. Sorry about that long delay there. I had a little coughing spell. Is Dustin Madsen now 5.5 seconds away from Kevin Franks in that 98 machine? Let's see if we can... Looks like he has been faster by 0.2 or more each lap than Madsen. Right there, he was 0.3 faster. As Madsen is still clutching it going into the corners here. Let's do another full send fired up here on the channel. You get to listen to these trucks scream by at over 180 miles an hour. And we'll be back shortly. We're back. That was your Full Send fired up by Sim Racer Hub here on the Full Send Broadcast Network. Dustin Madsen still your leader by a little over or just under 5 seconds now. Kevin Franks slowly running down the 6 machine. Kelly Pornor asked under that Full Send fired up was how many laps did they do prior to pitting? Most of these guys went about 32 to 34 laps. Justin Michael was able to stretch it out to 37 on that green flag run. As we're approaching green flag stops here again, right now we got John J. McIntyre and James McCanny coming down pit road. Dustin Madsen still in fuel save mode on extreme right now. See if Justin Michael's doing the same thing. Didn't sound like it right there. Maybe he saved enough fuel that he doesn't have to stretch it out this next 2 stops. or I'm sorry, this next stop. He's actually done enough to be able to make it on one more stop, while a lot of other drivers have to do it on 2 more stops. Picking the shortest line here around the track. 07 of George Jewell goes around Justin Michael. Jewell hit it on lap 51 last. Dustin Madsen down to a 4.3 second lead over Kevin Franks right now. Jonathan Cogswell comes on the pit road. Under 4 seconds now for Kevin Franks back there in second. Kevin Franks last pitted on lap 33. Dustin Madsen on lap 32. If Kevin Franks has a little extra in the tank, we will find out as Nick Kulikowski comes down pit road. So does Christopher Howell in the 18 machine. But right now, Kevin Franks, as we see Dustin Madsen breaking off to come down pit road. It's going to cycle the 98 of Kevin Franks back to the lead. Definitely trying to stretch it out to make it to the end here. Jamie Dunning coming down pit road. Looked a little hot right there. Don't know if he got it woed up in time. Kevin Franks needs to come down soon. He's going to do it this time right now. 98 machine giving up the lead. Careful to make no mistakes. Really gunning for this win right now is that 98 machine. As the 3 of Dakota Camper is going to get cycled through to the lead right now with the 87 of Justin Michael making that pass. The 3 led that lap that last time by, but the 87 goes around easily. Definitely got a few extra laps of fuel in that 87 machine. He will definitely be good to go to the end. As Dakota Camper comes down pit road in that 3 machine. I believe Madsen and Franks definitely have enough to make it to the end. From Christopher Howell, last pit on lap 65. He's going to be pushing it. Dunning may have just enough as Justin Michael's coming down pit road now. That's going to cycle Dustin Madsen back to the lead here. As he is already saving fuel. Dustin Madsen makes the pass for the lead while Michael was in the pits. Kevin Franks 5.3 seconds behind Madsen. Let's take a look at the pit stint lengths. See if that gives us any more data. As you see right there, Madsen and Franks ran 34 laps each on that last set of tires and fuel. Running 2 more laps for Madsen that second stint. Franks ran 1 more lap. So with that being said, with them pitting last on lap 66 and 67, that leaves 35 laps to go at lap 65 or 66. So those guys are definitely cutting it close. It's definitely going to be interesting to see. Justin Michael ran 37 laps on his first stint, ran 32 laps on his second stint. Sitting in 4th right now. He's definitely, I believe, in the catbird seat, but it's going to be hard to beat Madsen and Franks having the kind of lead that they do and able to save fuel if they can. There's your leader, Dustin Madsen, coming up on the lap car of James McCanney. Right now, Justin Michael has the fastest lap on track. He ran a 33.484 that last time by. Definitely making a huge gain of speed right there. Knowing that he does not have to worry about saving fuel. Kelly Poynor asks, how many laps do they need to be able to make it without fuel saving? I believe these guys can make it 25 to 28 laps wide open, not worry about saving fuel. But saving fuel, these guys are definitely getting close to 35 laps on fuel if they save. Which right now you see the 6 of Madsen already saving. You don't even hear that truck as he dives it off into the corner. Jonathan Cogswell back on pit lane. Kevin Franks down to a 4.3 second deficit behind the 6 machine of Madsen. Kevin Franks definitely putting in the work here tonight. Let's ride along with them for a couple of laps. Yeah, Kevin Franks definitely not saving fuel right now. Must think to himself that he is good to the end. He just completed lap 77, now working on lap 78 of the scheduled 100. Franks definitely out there for a maximum points day, scoring 9 bonus points after finishing second in the stage, and currently running second overall in the race. Really cutting down on that lead that Dustin Madsen has, not having to save fuel. Christopher Howell just got by George Jewell for the 5th spot. George Jewell in fuel saving mode, looks like. Dustin Michael has it almost down to 9 seconds between him and the leader. He is a man on a mission right now, knowing that he is good to the end. Be able to run that 87 machine wide open. Question is, does he have enough time to be able to run down the 98 of Franks and the 6 of Matson? There's Dustin Matson right there, coming across the line to complete lap 80. 20 laps to go here tonight in the Southern Excitement Racing League Truck Series, presented by Sim Racer Hub. For all your sim racing needs for stats and points, go to www.simracerhub.com and they'll get you fixed up. As Christopher Howell and George Jewell come down pit road. And these guys having to make pit stops. Be their last round here before the finish of this race. Matson running halfway through the corner right there with a clutch, saving that much more fuel. Kevin Franks not far behind now, 3.5 seconds behind Matson. Don't look now. Justin Michael coming into frame there behind Franks. About 3 seconds behind the 98 of Franks. Let's take a look at the closing rate between Kevin Franks and Justin Michael. Lap time history. Looks like Michael has been 2 to 3/10 faster a lap than Franks, but don't know that it's going to be enough to catch him as we're coming up on 16 laps to go. Be able to catch Dustin Matson in the 6, unless the 6 runs out of fuel. John J. McIntyre comes down pit road. For those of you tuning in and sticking it out with us tonight, we greatly appreciate it here on the Full Send Broadcast Network. I apologize for some of the delay of talking. I do have COVID right now, so I am having to mute my mic for some coughing or sneezing spells, but we are still here to bring you the fantastic action of the Southern Excitement Racing League presented by Sim Racer Hub. And we'll be back here tomorrow night with the Southern Excitement Racing League Next Gen Series from Bristol Motor Speedway as they start their playoffs. Tonight, here in the Truck Series, is their last race of the regular season to figure out the top 12 that goes into the playoffs. That starts next week here on the Full Send Broadcast Network. Definitely going to be a tense one here tonight. as James McCanny and Nick Kulikowski come down pit road, realizing they're not going to be able to make it to the end there. Six of Dustin Matson coming to 12 laps to go. Looking strong out there, down to a 3.1 second lead over Kevin Franks. Kevin Franks steadily putting in the work right now, trying to run down the 6 of Matson. Let's ride along with the 98 to see if he's doing anything special going into the corners. Kevin Franks doesn't sound like he's doing anything special other than backing the corner up a little bit. As we have 10 laps to go tonight in the scheduled 100 here in the Southern Excitement Racing League, presented by Sim Racer Hub. Right now, Dustin Matson, man out front, still clutching it going into the corners. Question on everyone's mind right now, does he have enough fuel to make it to the end? Being able to save fuel while also maintaining a consistent lead over Kevin Franks. Justin Michael sitting back there in third. 7.1 seconds behind Matson. Trying to close in on Kevin Franks himself to capitalize on both those drivers in the first and second spots, just in case they run out of fuel. He is the first truck that is good to the end. Comes around across the line to complete lap 93. Working through turns 1 and 2 now on lap 94. Currently have 5 trucks on the lead lap. Those 5 trucks are Dustin Matson, Kevin Franks, Justin Michael, Dakota Camper, and Jamie Dunning. Christopher Howell, George Jewell, and Jonathan Cogswell in 6th, 7th, and 8th, all 1 lap down. 9th, 10th, and 11th. Or 9th and 10th is James McCanny and John J. McIntyre, both 2 laps down. And rounding out your field in 11th is Nick Kulikowski in the 26 machine, 3 laps down. 6 laps to go here tonight in the Southern Excitement Racing League Truck Series. Brought to you by Sim Racer Hub. Dustin Matson stretching out a little bit more of a lead here. He's up to 3.5 seconds over Kevin Franks. Oh, Kevin Frakes must have turned on the heater because he is coming right now. Gained almost 2/10. Kevin Frakes really trying to work on that lead right now. Justin Michael back there in third is kind of leveled off with the 98 and the 6, not gaining or losing. Two laps to go. Sorry, 3 laps to go. Does Dustin Matson have enough fuel to make it to the end? We will soon find out here. Coming to the white flag here out of turn 4. Dustin Matson sees the white flag, hoping he has enough fuel in the tank here. Kevin Frakes running in second, losing a lot of time all of a sudden. Possibly trying to save as much fuel as he can to make it to the end. For the final time out of turn 4, Dustin Matson sees the checkered flag. Dustin Matson wins it tonight on fuel strategy in that 6 machine, bringing home the checkered flag. Kevin Frakes brings it home second, and Justin Michael in third. And that's your top 3 finishers here tonight in the Southern Excitement Racing League Truck Series, brought to you by Sim Racer Hub here on the Full Sim Broadcast Network. Dustin Matson really putting on a clinic out there tonight, showing these guys how it's done saving fuel. We see Christopher Howell come around. Dustin Matson going to try to have enough fuel here to burn it down. That may be it for the 6 machine on fuel. Let's take you through a rundown of how they finished here tonight in the Southern Excitement Racing League. Your winner, Dustin Matson, able to have enough fuel and able to hold off a hard-charging 98 of Kevin Frakes, who brings it home second. Third was Justin Michael. Fourth, Dakota Camper. Fifth, Jamie Dunning. Sixth, Christopher Howell. Seventh was George Jewell. Eighth, Jonathan Cogswell. Ninth, John J. McIntyre. 10th, James McCanney. And rounding out your field in 11th, 3 laps down, the number 26 machine of Nick Kulikowski. And that's your official finishing order here tonight in the Southern Excitement Racing League Truck Series, brought to you by Sim Racer Hub. Let's see if we can pull up the points, if it will actually show how they look after the race is done. Does not, but Kevin Franks definitely, he possibly may be in. We will do some quick math and we will let you know before we go off air. Get our drivers in here for some interviews. Like Justin Michael, our third place finisher, is going to be our first person to be interviewed tonight. Get him in here and see what he has to say about the race tonight. Hey there, Justin Michael. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Hey, man. Congrats on bringing it home third tonight. Definitely looked like you were sitting in the catbird seat if them first two ran out of fuel. Walk us through how that race went for you.
Yeah, well, we saved a lot of fuel, more than anybody there. We went an extra 4 laps, and I wanted to do that so I didn't have to save any more the rest of the time. And I just went full rookie mode there, going into the pits and spinning on pit road because I forgot where my pit stall was. So I just slammed on the brakes and just spun it around. So that was, pretty stupid there on my part. But it was a good run after that. And I figured I was going to run them down. I figured they would run out of gas, and I was kind of surprised they didn't.
Well, we'll chalk that pit road incident up to the broadcaster's curse, as we like to call it, because we just happened to be watching you coming down pit road about the time that happened. So we'll just chalk it up to that. Now, looking at the playoffs here, you've locked yourself into to the first race of the playoffs here. As we go into, see where we're heading into. Looks like we're going to Charlotte next Saturday. How do you feel about going over to Charlotte to start the round of the playoffs here in the Truck Series?
I like Charlotte. I like any of the mile-and-a-half tracks. Where we usually run pretty good there. All the tracks really in the championship race or races I really like, especially Vegas. So I think it'll be a good run. Talladega will be a crapshoot as always, most likely, but we'll just run in the back for most of the race there.
Yeah. So when the pit road incident happened, what was going through your head? Were you kind of mad at yourself, or walk us through your emotions whenever that happened, kind of watching how much time you had lost right there on pit road?
Oh, I just started laughing. There's nothing you could do. It was just a stupid move. So I just busted out laughing, and I think that next lap I was laughing the whole time. So nothing I could do about it. So.
But hey, it was a good recovery though from our perspective, being able to cut a donut, drive it the wrong way, and cut it around again and pull in your pit box. I thought that was pretty suave.
Yeah, as soon as I knew I missed the pit stop, I had my brakes so low, I just mashed them down. I knew it would spin around, and then I was just trying to get a decent angle into the pit stop, and then after that we just went full sin mode the entire rest of the race and burnt the tires up at the end. I was catching dust in like, I don't know, half a second a lap, and that just started fading there at the end.
Yeah. Well, you have any shout outs or sponsor plugs you want to get out there tonight?
Just everybody out there watching, always a good race. My friend Darren out there watching as always, and Scott over there from Patent paints really good cars and trucks for me, so we always appreciate that.
All right, man. Well, we appreciate you stopping by here tonight. Once again, congrats on the third place finish there as we heading into the playoffs. And maybe we'll get to talk to you next week when we leave Charlotte.
Thanks, sir. We'll see you next week.
Thank you. You have a good night.
You too.
And that was Justin Michael in the 87 machine, your third place finisher tonight after saving loads of fuel in that first green flag stint and not having to save fuel at all the next 2 stints. Bringing it home third after that pit road incident that he had, looping it around there trying to get in his pit box. Let's bring in our second place finisher tonight. That 98 machine of Kevin Franks. Get him in here and hear about his amazing night that he had. Hey there, Kevin Franks. Got a copy?
Yeah, sure do. How's it going?
Oh, it's going fantastic, man. Congrats on bringing it home in the second spot. Definitely a great performance out of that 98 truck of yours. Walk us through how that race went for you.
Pretty good. Actually, a little bit better than I thought it would be. I noticed in practice, just this setup just seemed to really fit I guess my driving style, how I like to attack the track, and doing that and able to save the tires, uh, and no cautions, so that pretty much helped me out on that with the fuel mileage.
Yeah, and as I looked at the points right now, it looks like your total points should be right around 278. And if we pull up your points the way they were before the race, it actually looks like you might have made the final spot there in the playoffs. So, if my math is correct, congratulations on making the top 12 for the playoffs there.
Thank you. I knew it was going to be close, and I knew I had to have a good run tonight and a good finish to try to get up in there. So I guess I'll keep my fingers crossed until they post the official standings up.
Yeah, and I'm hoping my math is right. I don't want to get your hopes up on it, but factor in your second place finish in the stage and your second place finish there, and plus a bonus point for leading a lap. I believe you did make it in, and if I'm correct on that, congratulations, and also congrats on bringing it home second. How do you feel about going forward next week into Charlotte Motor Speedway to start the playoffs?
I feel pretty good. Even with this run tonight, hopefully keep it up into Charlotte. Charlotte's one of those tracks. It's either feast or famine for me. Either have a really good finish, or I'm finished towards the back of the pack. So hopefully next week could be one of those feasts where I have another good finish like tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. And do you have any shout outs or sponsor plugs you want to get out there tonight?
Yeah, hopefully everybody enjoyed the race and enjoyed the show, and like to also thank my sponsor Varney Incorporated, Desert Storm War Memorial Association. Thank you for you guys broadcasting the races, and for Jamie and Dakota starting this league up. It's been a really fun league, and I've enjoyed running with everybody here.
Well, much appreciated there, Kevin. And once again, congrats on bringing it home second and possibly making it into the top 12 there for the playoffs. We'll hopefully get to talk to you again when we leave Charlotte next week.
Hopefully so. Thanks again for the congratulations, and like I said, hope everybody enjoyed the show tonight.
Thank you, and you have yourself a good night.
All right, you too.
And that was Kevin Franks in the 98 machine, bringing it home in second, able to save enough fuel there to have a fantastic finish. Sorry about the pause there. Had a little bit of a coughing spell. Now let's get over to our race winner now. That 6 machine of Dustin Matson. Hey there, Dustin Matson. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. I got you.
Hey, man. Congrats on bringing home yet another checkered flag here tonight in the Southern Excitement Racing League Truck Series. Walk us through how that race went for you, having to save fuel and ultimately have enough fuel to make it to the end there.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy having to save that much fuel. I kind of ran that entire first third of that race, just not really worrying about it. And I figured, well, if I lose, I lose. But honestly, I was kind of hoping at least for a caution there to kind of break it up a little bit. But yeah, once we got to the middle of that race and I kind of noticed how spread out everybody was, then I kind of just started trying to save a little bit here and there.
Yeah, definitely noticed you were clutching it going into the corners. So how much were you having to save from the beginning of each run?
Well, like I said, I didn't really start committing to it until probably about the middle of the race, probably the middle of that second fuel run. And because I knew I probably need to try to get an extra lap to kind of give me a shot of making it towards the end. And so basically I was just clutching and half the track, and then I was running the rest of the track pretty much normal. So, and then essentially just like I kind of just started doing that a little bit more here and there, getting towards that last fuel run all the way to the checker flag there. Mostly I was just trying to manage my gap behind me since I knew I had a little bit of a delta going on there.
Yeah, and looking into the playoffs now, you locked yourself in before this race even started. How do you feel about going to Charlotte next Saturday night and starting the round of the playoffs here in the Truck Series?
Yeah, I mean, should be fun. I mean, everything's going to reset and everyone's going to be playing a new ball game. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Charlotte, I enjoy driving Charlotte. Sometimes I'm good there, sometimes I'm not. So it'll be interesting to see what happens there. But I was just glad to kind of have a clean race tonight with no mistakes on my part.
Yeah, and were you worried at all about the 98 of Kevin Franks being able to catch you and possibly battle you for the win there?
Yeah, I was watching our gap a little bit. It seemed like he kind of eat into it a good bit, and then it was kind of level out at some point, and I kind of figured it was kind of leveling out sort of on the back half of that run. So as long as he wasn't getting within like a couple of seconds or so, I didn't really feel like I had to push that hard. So I kind of just kept doing what I was doing and just made sure he wasn't about to go flying past me.
All right, well, you have any shout outs or sponsor plugs you want to get out there tonight?
Yeah, just shout out to the league once again for putting this on and having another good truck season. I think this was our second one, so shout out to you guys, obviously Full Send for broadcasting everything, and looking forward to us closing out the year.
All right, man. Well, once again, congrats on the bringing home another checkered flag here in the Truck Series, and maybe we'll get to talk to you next week as we leave Charlotte starting the playoffs.
Yeah, that sounds good. We'll be shooting for it.
All right, man. Have yourself a good night.
All right, you too.
And that was Dustin Matson, your race winner here tonight in the Southern Excitement Racing League Truck Series, bringing home yet another checkered flag. Now let's run you down through the official finishing order one more time before we sign off here. Presented by Sim Racer Hub. For all your sim racing league needs, go to www.simracerhub.com, plug in your finishes from your race, and they will keep track of the stats and points for you there at simracerhub.com. Your race winner is Dustin Matson in the 6 machine, bringing it home. In second was Kevin Franks in that 98 machine. Third, Justin Michael. Fourth, Dakota Camper. Jamie Dunning rounding out your top 5. Sixth was Christopher Howell. Seventh, George Jewell. Eighth, Jonathan Cogswell. Ninth was John J. McIntyre. 10th, James McCanney. And rounding out your field in 11th was Nick Kulikowski. And that's your official finishing order here tonight, presented by Sim Racer Hub. Tomorrow night, we'll be back live here again on the Full Send Broadcast Network with the Southern Excitement Racing League Next Gen Series from Bristol Motor Speedway, where they are starting their playoffs there. Can't wait to see that action-packed race. And then on Tuesday night, we'll be live once again here on Full Send Broadcast Network with the Finish Line Racing League. And then coming up, it was just announced today, February 4th, mark your calendars, Full Send Motorsports will be putting on a one-off race from Daytona in the ARCA cars with a fixed setup going over 200 miles an hour and able to bump draft in the Clash, the pre-Clash to the Clash. That will be on February 4th, and that'll be live right here on the Full Send Broadcast Network. For Full Send Broadcast Network, I'm Jacob signing off here tonight. We'll see you tomorrow night here live for the Southern Excitement Racing League Next Gen Series. Going to be a wild one. Be sure to tune in. We'll see you tomorrow night.